Thank you for joining us for this month's Spotlight series. We are proud to feature the Center for Global Education, and we're going to focus on studying abroad. Today we have with us here Ms. Christina Labrato, and she's going to shed a lot of light on the services that our office provides and what you should know about your students as they start to look at study abroad options. So Christina, if you could please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the services that the Center for Global Education provides for our students.
Sure. So I'm the Marketing and Outreach Coordinator for the Center for Global Education, and we are basically the hub for study abroad for Rutgers students. We offer programs in over 50 countries, on every continent except Antarctica, so more than likely we have something somewhere that students will be interested in. We have programs that are the typical semester or academic year long, which is your traditional study abroad experience. But we recognize that that doesn't work for everyone, so we also have short-term options in the summer and winter. Those range anywhere from 2 to 8 weeks long. All of our programs are credit-bearing, so students are coming back with Rutgers credits, and they are counting at the very least towards graduation, but can also be used to fulfill major and minor and core requirements. We also have service learning options, and that's adding a community engagement, service learning, volunteer type component, but those are also credit-bearing.
So when a student is interested in studying abroad, what steps should they take to explore their various options?
So every student's journey towards study abroad is going to be a little different, but we usually recommend that they come in and see us. So we have an office on College Avenue, and we have walk-in hours every day of the week. So they can come in without an appointment, meet with an advisor, and just discuss the different options that are available to them based on what their personal and academic goals are. We usually then work with them to identify, once they find the program they like, which courses might work for them. And they also work with their academic advisors for that too.
So are study abroad trips limited to students with certain majors? And is there a preferred year that students should travel, like when they're a freshman or a sophomore?
So the easiest answer to that is not necessarily. We do have some short-term programs over the summer that are faculty-led, and a lot of times those are going to be very academically focused or program-specific. So in that case, yes, their major may come into play a little bit more. But if they're enrolling in one of our partner universities abroad for the summer or for the semester, it's just a matter of finding courses that will work for them. So they can use those courses to fulfill major and minor requirements. Basically, they go through and find the courses and then work with their academic department to get them approved and say that they're equivalent to something they should be taking here.
And then is there a certain timeline of when they should study?
So typically students go sophomore and junior year. The earliest they can go abroad is summer after freshman year for a short-term program. But it really doesn't matter. We've had students go as late as their last semester senior year. It's just a matter of coming in and doing that academic planning and making sure that they can still graduate on time and complete anything they need to complete.
So can you talk to us a bit about how much trips cost and what options are available to help with the pricing of a study abroad trip?
Sure. So every program has its own price, which you can find on the website on each program page, and it will give a breakdown too of what the tuition and fees that are going to be showing up on a term bill are versus what some of those non-billable expenses are, like their airfare or their housing and meals while abroad. So if the student is going for a semester and they have aid that's typically applied to their term bill, they can still use that towards a study abroad program. So that's going to help cut down some of those costs. Mm-hmm. And then we have additional scholarships through our office, other Rutgers departments, and then nationally.
So one of the top concerns of many parents and family members is the safety of their students. Can you shed some light on the precautions that you put in place when students travel overseas, and how does your office prioritize safety on a trip?
Sure. So we recognize that that's a concern, and understandably so. So we have all students that go on our programs are enrolled in HGH health insurance, which is a travel insurance. They are basically covered then while they're abroad, and also should anything arise that they need to return home, that would be covered as well. So they have to get that as part of our programming. On top of that, we have an emergency phone here, a 24/7 emergency phone, at least that we could help from our end, but we realize we're not abroad with them, so we have partners abroad that can be resources for them on the ground over there. So that could be either through the partner university or provider, or it could be one of our resident directors. So we have 3 Rutgers employees who live abroad in Spain, France, and the UK, and they are our students' main go-to person should anything happen over there. Ultimately, there's only so much we can do on our end, but we go through a pre-departure orientation with our students before they leave, and we cover health and safety and just ways that they can go about making sure that they're staying safe while abroad.
All right, so today we're lucky enough to have with us a student that actually participated in a study abroad trip. So we would like to bring in Lloyd so he can share a little bit about his experience and how that trip impacted his college experience. So here we have with us Lloyd, who actually went on a study abroad trip previously. Lloyd, if you could please introduce yourself, tell us your major, your year, your hometown, and talk a little bit about the trip and what you experienced during your time there.
Okay, my name is Lloyd Pearson. I'm a junior at Rutgers, class of 2018. I'm from Franklinville, New Jersey. I'm a communications major and French minor, and last semester I studied at John Cabot University in Rome.
So Lloyd, tell us a little bit more about your trip in Rome. What did you experience? How did it impact you academically? And tell us about what you experienced during your time there.
It was honestly one of the greatest experiences of my life. I made a lot of good friends. The apartment I lived in, there was a few European students, Americans from all over the country. So it was a great experience. I got to meet a lot of new people, and it was just, the sights were amazing. The Trevi Fountain, the Tiber River, the Colosseum, obviously. It was just all amazing. Academically, it fit well because as a communications major, they offered a lot of great classes. I was able to take a few classes for my major there, so all the credits transferred back, GPA transferred back, everything. So it was a very, very fun experience.
So if you can tell us what motivated you to study abroad and how prepared did you feel from your interactions with the Center for Global Involvement for your trip?
It was always on kind of a bucket list thing to go to Rome. It's just such a beautiful city. I always knew I wanted to study abroad, and it was just a great experience overall. And working with the Center for Global Education, it was great. I was a bit nervous going in. I didn't really know what to expect. I'd never been in Europe for that long, so it was really reassuring to have the Center for Global Education there. I had a lot of questions. I would call them over the summer a lot and during the semester before I went, and they always answered my questions. They were very patient with me and the other students that studied abroad. It was great. I had so much fun. I'm actually going back to study at the University of Paris in the fall, so I'm looking forward to that.
Great. Well, thank you for being here today and sharing with us about your experience, and thank you to the Center for Global Education for enlightening us about their services as well. If you all have any further questions, their contact information is listed at the end of this video. Thanks for joining us today.